Think vaping is harmless, a cool modern habit? You might be part of the biggest health experiment in history, and the results are terrifying. Before watching the video, please subscribe to our channel. Vaping can seem like a modern marvel, a technological solution to the age-old problem of smoking. It offers one of the world's most popular substances, nicotine, in a way that feels cleaner and tastes better. Nicotine itself can feel like a superpower in a small device. It can sharpen your focus, improve memory and reaction times, and even boost physical endurance. For many, it's a tool to calm anxiety, manage stress, and lift their mood. It's also known to suppress hunger, which can help with weight management. Let's be honest, there's a simple, almost primal pleasure in the ritual of putting something to your mouth and getting that gentle kick. When you compare it to other stimulants, nicotine's immediate effects don't seem to carry the same heavy cost for our bodies. And the science is crystal clear on one thing: vaping is vastly, overwhelmingly less harmful than smoking cigarettes. Smoking forces you to inhale hot smoke filled with tar and thousands of toxic particles directly into your lungs, causing immediate and widespread damage. For this discussion, we are focusing purely on nicotine vapes, which seem like a much safer bet. Sure, we all know nicotine is one of the most addictive substances on Earth. But if the delivery system is mostly harmless, is it really that bad? That's the billion-dollar question we need to answer, and fast. While smoking rates in the West have been slowly declining, a new epidemic has taken its place, especially among teenagers. In 2023, a staggering 1 in 5 children in the UK had tried vaping. In the United States, about 8% of all students are now regular vapers. More alarmingly, a quarter of those students vape every single day, and almost all of them are drawn in by the thousands of available fruit and candy-like flavors. So what is actually happening inside that sleek device? And what does it do once it gets inside your body? A vape is essentially a tiny machine that heats a special liquid held in a tank using a metal coil. The liquid itself, often called vape juice, is mostly a mix of propylene glycol and glycerol. These are the same chemicals used to create fog in concerts and theaters, and they're found in everything from candy and cake mixes to cosmetics and paint. Added to this base are nicotine salts, which deliver the desired effect, and dozens of different molecules that create the appealing flavors. When you inhale, the battery-powered coil heats up, turning this liquid into an aerosol that you breathe in. The word vapor sounds clean and harmless, like steam from a kettle. But vapes don't create vapor, they create a warm, sticky mist of microscopic particles. A better comparison would be inhaling a cloud of warm, flavored hairspray. When you take a puff, billions of these tiny aerosol particles coat your mouth and tongue, delivering the pleasant taste before traveling deep into your lungs. They reach the alveoli, the delicate air sacs where oxygen enters your blood. Here, the nicotine quickly passes into your bloodstream and rushes to your brain, creating all those desirable effects. But this is also where the real problems begin. The most frightening answer to the question, "What's in your vape?" is that we often just don't know. Scientific studies have analyzed vape liquids to find they can be complex cocktails of dozens, sometimes thousands, of different substances, many of which aren't even listed on the label. This might seem shocking, but the vaping industry operates in a regulatory gray area, far less controlled than food or medicine. We know many of the official ingredients are considered safe, but that's a big kinda. They're approved for use in food or cosmetics, meaning they've been tested to be safe when you eat them or put them on your skin. Breathing them in is a completely different story. For instance, cinnamaldehyde, the chemical that gives cinnamon its flavor, is known to kill cells and cause genetic damage when inhaled. Benzaldehyde, which provides a fruity taste found in cherry, berry, or chocolate vapes, is a known respiratory irritant when it's in a gas form. What's even more concerning is that we have very little idea how these substances change when they are rapidly heated by the vape's coil. The chemistry gets complicated fast. As the coil's temperature rises, molecules can break down or merge, creating entirely new chemical compounds with completely unknown health consequences. If the propylene glycol and glycerol are heated too much, which can happen if the liquid is low or the device is used too frequently, they can decompose into genuinely harmful molecules like formaldehyde. You might notice this as a burnt, unpleasant taste from your vape. If that ever happens, you should stop using it immediately. And it doesn't stop there. The metal coil itself sheds microscopic particles when it's heated. Studies have detected a frightening list of metals in the aerosol, including aluminum, iron, copper, lead, chromium, and nickel. These metals range from being irritants to outright toxic, potentially causing lung irritation, chronic bronchitis, and shortness of breath. Worse, metals like nickel and chromium are known carcinogens when inhaled. All these mystery chemicals and metal particles are now mixing together in your lungs, interacting in ways we are only just beginning to study. This brings us to the elephant in the room. We simply don't know the precise long-term health effects of vaping because it has only been widespread for about a decade. Most human studies have focused on smokers who switched to vaping. For them, the conclusion is clear: switching dramatically reduces your risk of disease. If you are a smoker, moving to vaping is a major step towards better health. But these studies don't tell us what happens to a person who has never smoked and starts vaping. In the short term, we see many vapers develop respiratory issues like a persistent cough, increased mucus, wheezing, and chest pain. But for the long term, we are flying blind. Your lungs are made of incredibly sensitive tissue, designed to breathe clean air, not a constant stream of sticky aerosol particles, chemicals, and metals. Unlike your digestive system, your lungs have a very poor ability to clean themselves out. What goes in generally stays in. Vaping appears to trigger an immune response, causing inflammation as your body tries and fails to clear out the foreign particles. This can lead to fluid in the lungs and cause cells to produce extra mucus that you're forced to cough up. Beyond the lungs, vaping can put stress on your entire cardiovascular system, potentially increasing your heart rate and blood pressure while stiffening your arteries. Does this increase your risk of a heart attack, stroke, or cancer down the line? The honest answer right now is just maybe. We are in the middle of one of the largest uncontrolled medical experiments in human history, and if you are a vapor, you are a test subject. What makes modern vaping so different is the sheer quantity of nicotine it can deliver. Smoking a pack of cigarettes a day is difficult. It's harsh, it smells, and it's socially unacceptable in most places. Vaping, on the other hand, is smooth, pleasant, and can be done discreetly indoors, allowing for constant use for hours on end. It's easy to consume an entire vape pod in a single day, which can contain as much nicotine as a full pack of cigarettes or even more. This showers the brain in unprecedentedly high doses of nicotine, making it exceptionally addictive. This is especially dangerous for teenagers, whose brains are still developing. During adolescence, the brain's nicotine receptors are highly active and are fundamentally linked to the reward system that governs how you feel about yourself and your life. Constant overstimulation from high doses of nicotine can potentially alter brain development, leading to long-term issues with attention, impulse control, and mood regulation. While vaping may not be a gateway to other drugs, its highly addictive nature is undeniable. When a person tries to quit, they face an uphill battle. Nicotine withdrawal is notoriously difficult, bringing on intense cravings, anxiety, mood swings, headaches, and an inability to concentrate or experience pleasure. On top of the physical symptoms, there is a powerful psychological addiction tied to the habit and ritual of vaping. The good news is that these effects are reversible, but getting there requires overcoming one of the toughest addictions we know. The problem with vaping is that it's just too good at what it does. It's tasty, satisfying, and feels futuristic. But in solving one problem, it has created another, supercharging nicotine's addictive power and hooking a new generation. We have successfully engineered a new way to make one of history's most addictive substances attractive to millions of young people by making it taste like candy.